Brooklyn Independent Television.
As a multimedia artist and expert rock climber, Gail Rothchild's work is a muscular and tactile exploration of the physical world. We recently swung by her studio to see what exactly happens when rock climbing and art collide.
Gail Rothchild. The best way to talk about my work is historically. I studied painting and drawing originally and then became a public sculptor and installation artist. Traveled around, did big public sculptures and installations, usually researching local history for 15 years, and then really felt that it was time to go back to the studio, which is how the fabrication paintings and the climberscape paintings developed. I've been from painter to sculptor to installation artist, and now I'm working in animation and in video, incorporating all of those things. I think I probably started climbing as a little kid. I was a competitive gymnast and then stopped to concentrate more on art and felt very unbalanced because I didn't have that kind of focused physical discipline. But when I discovered rock climbing 12 years ago, it just somehow felt right. I never really appreciated the complexities of the vertical landscape, and it completely changed the way I was making art as well as the way I was looking at my body. I've certainly gotten stronger. My hands have gotten very strange, which more and more is a part of my work. So much of my work is handmade, and aggressively so. It's something that I care about. I think certainly as I'm doing more of these pieces that have to do with my body and my figure, the hands will be very much a part of it. What I like about climbing is that it brings together really two aspects of me. I'm kind of a muscular person, but I guess I'm kind of a thoughtful person too. A lot of my work has to do with texts and with narratives. All of those intertwining DNAs where I repeat the figure, those are texts in a way. With fabrications, they're texts in a way. Well, with climbing, you have to be strong, you have to be agile, you have to be flexible. You look at the complexities in the vertical rock. You look, where can I put my hands? Where can I put my feet? And the vocabulary that we use as climbers is very interesting because we say that we read the route. I hope that the work is engaging on the level that it asks someone to really pay attention. What I paint, what I sculpt, what I do with video, I like to think that they're very dense. I put a lot of meaning in them, and I hope that if I can ask the viewer just to take some time and to think, that I've really accomplished something. I've been in Prospect Heights 20 years, and I've watched it change and grow, and I love that I can go to the museum and the Botanic Garden. It's a really exciting and dynamic neighborhood. I think what I see myself doing in the future is really what I'm doing now, which is to bring past and present together to incorporate everything that I've done, all of the ideas, all the forms, politics. I'm excited by taking the inherent movement that's always been in my work and turning that into real movement through video and through animation. And I'm excited to see where that goes. There are two strains throughout my work. The landscape, and for years I made big public sculptures. The other is the figure, my figure. In this series that I call Climberscapes, I start with a video of myself climbing and then de-animate it. Take it figure by figure and create a landscape from it. These figures became a kind of arc, which is a lot like a spine, and then I doubled it. I got a double helix. And that starts to reference my DNA and my need to move and to be as kinetic as I am. What I'm trying to do is to bring together the Climberscape series, the images of my body, with a series of paintings that I've been working on for a long time that I call fabrications. Come on, take a look at them. This painting is one of the originals from the fabrication series. It came to spatial properties preserved under bicontinuous deformation. I got to thinking about Penelope from the Odyssey and how she had woven by day and then unwoven by night. And it occurred to me that that was sort of the type of an artist making and then unmaking her own work. A knitted stitch is very biological. You stretch it and it becomes a hexagon. And that, of course, is a cell. Let me show you another picture. Somebody asked me recently if I'd studied archaeology in school, and no, I didn't. And since I've been looking so much at fabric and at textiles, I started this series called Portraits of Ancient Linen. Each of these starts with a photograph of an actual fragment of linen, usually that's survived for thousands, in this case 5,000 years. Over time, it comes apart, and it seems to turn back into the plant that it once was. Now I want to show you another series. I originally made the refugee figures out of wire armature and air drying clay. They were originally used in an installation at the University of Arkansas. They were a Trail of Tears image of Native Americans. I've started to use them as animations of more general refugees, homeless people, people who've been displaced around the world. I want to show you one more painting. This painting is part of a new series. They really bring in the physicality of the cliff that I'm climbing with the physicality of the intertwining and interlocking imagined fibers. Thank you for coming to my studio. I've really enjoyed having you here.
Download this program's podcast on iTunes. Keywords Brooklyn Independent Television.